Good evening. Here is the news, read by Bernard Ngwa. In the headlines.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm guessing everyone is doing great. I want to say a great thank you to everybody who is joining us today, my regular subscribers, and for those of you who are watching this video for the very first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notified each time a new video drops on my channel. So today we have a guest on my channel and he's my dad as well, so we're going to run through a few questions. We have some few questions for you and we'd love for you to give your honest opinion.
Honest?
Yes, honest opinion. So how do you feel today?
Kicking. I'm okay.
Okay, that's great.
It's a Sunday.
Yes, it is a Sunday. So first of all, my subscribers don't know who you are, and I think you'll be reasonable enough to introduce or reintroduce yourself, because there might be some people who already seen your face, know or have a clue as to who you are, and some don't. So who are you?
Well, you've given the introduction that I'm your daddy.
Aside that,
You mean the name?
yes.
Ngwa, Bernard, Melinda's daddy. Some of you may know me, some may not. At least for those who don't know me, this is Bernard Ngwa.
B. Bernard.
I'm now enjoying my retirement, well deserved. I don't regret it. I've served for so many years. Time for me now to take some time for myself and relax and see how you guys are going along too. And those who are still in the job market, to watch them, give encouragement wherever necessary, and support them.
Okay, so you mentioned something about retiring. So what are you actually retiring from? Do you just retire, or what are you actually retiring from?
Retiring from active service. Served at the CRTV, specifically at the Prime Minister's office for almost 18 years.
Oh.
So that's
as a journalist.
that's what I'm retiring from.
Okay. The next question is, what has been your hardest role as a father?
Being a father in itself is it's a job, and bringing up kids is not a day's job either. So being a father, making sure that the children are well taken care of at home, in school, in society. So the hardest part of the job is making sure that you perform all these responsibilities to the best of your ability and make sure that you satisfy the demands and the needs of your children and of your family.
What did Granddaddy teach you about life?
Granddaddy, thanks for reminding me. We just celebrated his 9th anniversary.
May his soul rest in peace.
In the grave. You know him very well. Granddaddy was a teacher by profession, a disciplinarian of the first order, but again, don't forget, with a human touch, a Christian background. So he was hard, but made sure that he gave you what was necessary to grow up in life as a Christian, a well-grounded individual. In other words, at home, he made sure that he knew the do's and the don'ts. What you are supposed to do at home as a child was discipline.
He wasn't doing anything that had to do with gender.
No. Gender, to him, all the children were equal. There was no issue of boy or girl. There is some jobs or some shows were reserved for the boys and some for the girls. The most interesting part was that as a boy, we had rotational
Chips.
shifts. You had 1 week to be in the house. Everything concerning the house, sweeping, cleaning, and all that. The next week you rotated, went to the kitchen. The cooking, you had to learn how to cook. What was that philosophy behind the rationale for that? Daddy made sure that as a boy you were not just
Label to some particular.
going out there playing ball or idling around. No. Because he said, when you grow up, married or unmarried, preferably married,
Yeah.
you're not just going to idly sit by and wait for your wife to do everything. You have to assist. For instance, what happens if your wife goes to the hospital, maternity assignment? You will not cook food. The other siblings who are at home, you will not feed them. So he made sure that you knew how to cook, you knew how to do farm work, you knew all, so you're all grounded. And I think I have no regrets. You can testify to that.
It's actually like some legacy that's being passed on
It is.
generations too. How was it for you while being a journalist at the King's office? How was work over there? How was your experience? Just, because there might be some people here watching who would love to know how it was. Just share
The
with them.
professional journalism per se, it's a demanding job. You have to go out on coverages. So now you're referring to the Prime Minister's office. Exciting and taxing.
What do you mean taxi?
Keep you busy.
Okay.
Okay? Don't forget that working at the Prime Minister's office, as a journalist, your role was to cover all the activities of the Prime Minister, both the country and out of the country. In Yaoundé, out of Yaoundé, you have to constantly, when you go on the field, you gather the material, you come back. Sometimes you're writing your reports in the car on your way back to meet the deadlines. So you will not go, say for instance, to the southwest or northwest. An event takes place at 3 o'clock or at 2:30, 2 o'clock. There's a newscast at 3 o'clock. The newsroom is expecting a report on the trip of the PM. And as soon as you're coming back to Yaoundé, if you can't send a TV report from there, you come back immediately, you go and make sure that you meet the deadline. So it was an exciting job, but kept us extremely busy.
What was your reaction when you realized I was a musician?
Are you a musician? I don't know that. I thought you did journalism.
Yes, I did.
Okay, music is what? Your hobby or your
No, it's
your
part-time.
Well, I didn't find that extremely strange because there was that gene of dancing. Even your grandmother remarked. Each time she visited us and took you for a walk, at least when you were a toddler, around 2-3 years, you listened to any music blaring out there and you stopped and you started dancing on the spot. So she came and recounted that to us. And again, I'm not the father who tries to, I can give you orientations, do this. Your calling has to be from within. And as you said, music is a hobby, it's not a profession.
Do you remember BIGGY 237?
What is that?
BIGGY 237. TV.
I heard about that.
How did you feel about it before I got into the house after when I left? As a father.
Initially, you said I have to be honest. I knew about that show. Is it a show or what?
TV reality show.
Okay, a reality show. You were the one who briefed me on that. And the time frame was not that much.
Yes, sure.
Okay? It was like something happening in 2 days. You told me today. I had to inquire what it was all about. Since I didn't know much about what was going on, I had to rely on your good faith. While you were there, since we could not have regular communication on the phone, call and let us know what was going on. That was how I was informed. I didn't follow the
or through Adrian?
No, info like on the radio.
How did you call me when I was a little girl?
Honey. That's the name I gave you. It was just like honey. That's the name I gave you.
Do you miss those times when we used to have bedtime stories? You would call me, read some bedtime stories, play with my tummy. Those moments.
Those were exciting moments. You need to see how the children grow. And to be honest with you, between 2 and 6 years old, those are fun times. You see excitement in a child trying to discover the environment, trying to discover who she is, that can be your kids. And that is a period that you have to be very careful as a parent. The information that you give the child, what you do, the child is observing. What you tell the child,
And so it's at that age that they tend to retain.
they return a lot. So I have always enjoyed having kids grow under my supervision.
Imagine, okay, this one is like a test because you said you have been, in fact, you're still a journalist because it's not because you're retired.
No.
So it's still within. So this is like a test.
In journalism?
Yes.
Okay.
Imagine you were on air now reporting for the 7:30 news. Can we get a scoop of that?
Of the reporting?
Yes, like how you report, just say something as though you were reporting news.
Reading the news or giving a report?
Reading the news.
Okay. Well, I would not change what I have been doing.
Yes.
The jingle goes on,
Yeah.
and I come on. Good evening. Here is the news, read by Bernard Ngwa. In the headlines, and the news follows.
Everybody is always used to the news read by Bernard. And they call you that Baffoon man. He's not from Baffoon, please.
No,
He's not from Baffoon.
don't. Well, I know where they're coming from. The name Ngwa, it's a household name in Baffoon. Instantly, the normal reaction, Baffoon, you have to tell them, well, yeah, you're right, but not quite. I may have been born in Baffoon, but I'm not Baffoon.
What's your advice to children concerning dream chasing?
Like a career.
Yes, career.
Dreams.
Follow your dreams. No, there are dreams and there are dreams.
Mhm.
Because there are some parents who.
The dreams have to be realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, have to make the children know. A child whose strengths in courses that would gear that child towards science or being a doctor, you will not see a child who is weak in sciences and has that dream that I want to be a doctor. That's unrealistic. And you will not encourage a child to follow that path. You can sit the child. That's why counseling comes in very important.
Yeah.
And you have to do that at a very early age. Just like I was talking about you stopping on the street and dancing. You already see an ingredient, an element of showbiz.
Yes.
You can observe both what a child wants to do and what it entails in terms of the courses that will lead, well, in music, you have to take music classes. Because again, it's not just what you stand and sing and no. In advanced countries, music is a whole course in itself.
And that's something
You
that
can decide to zero in on an instrument, piano.
Yeah.
Okay. So you cannot. The people who just play the piano, those who play and sing. So you train your voice and your talent. What do I say to children who are chasing dreams? The dreams have to be realistic. But again, you always see that this is not natural. Something that is inborn. Combine that with the courses that will lead you in that direction. The talent just falls in place.
And given that in your era, you guys were used to white collar jobs, because now it's more of what really happens in the world is more of a business business-oriented type of jobs. So what's your take on that?
And whether or not you should go into white-collar jobs
Yes.
or business, well, it all depends. Get the basic tools that you need, your education. If you're going into business,
Education skills.
you need a business background in whatever you're training.
Because most people are like, no, and you know if you go to school or you cannot go to school, and then at the end of the day, you're doing.
No. That's a very, very irresponsible way of reasoning. Because the others who say, well, the government does not employ.
Yeah.
Oh, why study when there are no jobs? No. Education is key. Those who have the opportunity to study. And again, it's ironic because a good many children out there who don't have those opportunities. The parents might not be well-to-do. They don't have the finances. So the children have the material in their brains to learn. They are handicapped. So what do you tell those children who have all what it takes to learn and they don't have those opportunities? And you have that on a book, flat of gold. And you say, no, well, the people who are out there, they've studied, they don't have a job. So why study? No.
We are having a great time. Can you, this one is funny, can you make a statement in Pidgin English?
Like what statement?
Any statement in Pidgin? I've never heard you speak in Pidgin, yes.
My Pidgin is not that good.
It's not supposed to be good.
I don't want to embarrass people who...
No, that's not even a language that people should really,
proud
adopt.
of.
Yes, that's something that people have fun with.
I go like to Fundi market, foreigners that I speak a little bit of Pidgin.
A little bit.
I might try.
Okay. We're waiting.
For what? For the Pidgin?
Okay, you see.
You can say something and let me respond.
How was church today?
Church should be fine. Very good.
Can you give us just a takeaway message from the pastor?
The YP rally. And the venue was PC Simeon. The associate pastor, Reverend Russo Teresa, told the children about the story of building Jerusalem. Emphasis was on the fact that they should not, as kids growing up in the world of today, so many distractions, crime wave, especially children going to school with weapons,
Knives, all of
attacking their
that.
teachers.
Especially what's happening now
So,
in our country.
yes, children should not be dreaming of going to do what the Israelites were doing about building of Jerusalem. They have to use their lives today, build their lives, respecting their teachers, respecting their parents, doing what they have to do as children. That is their own responsibility today. Example of children of today waiting for elders to greet them, which is a taboo, because quoting her what she said, when they were growing up, when we were growing up, it was the other way around.
And there you pass without greeting. The next question. What was your impression after you saw my tattoos?
So what?
My tattoos.
Which tattoos?
Anyone?
But you should tell me. You should tell me what my impression was.
He
or my
was
attitude.
angry.
Very angry.
Very, very angry.
Because I still have not been able to come to grips with the concept or the culture of tattooing. Are we trying to perfect God's creation, or we're adding to what He has already done, giving the impression that He didn't do a good job? What is the message behind tattooing? You haven't really explained that to me. I see a lot of people around with all kinds of designs, tattoos.
Well, at times for
This is freedom, and freedom that is again is highly debatable in terms of the kind of freedom that you're talking about.
do you think he has changed my way of being?
In the tattoo itself, per se, what is it all about to begin with? I have to know what the tattoo is to see whether it has gotten any
it's just
impact on your behavior.
It's just beauty. For people have their different motives and reasons.
Yeah, but if people tattoo on their backs, do they expose the back to see the beauty? You still wear clothing. So how do you expose the beauty?
And it depends on what you wear.
If you talk about beauty, I don't agree with that. No problems with that.
What's the fondest memory of your father?
Oh yeah, storytelling, fireside stories. When it was time for dinner, and dinner was late in coming, I made sure we sat around. It's a way of distraction to make us wait for the dinner. Sleep was lingering around your eyes. Forget it.
I think we have come to the end of this Q&A, Christian Talk with my dad. But before you leave, people will be expecting, some word of advice from an elderly person such as yourself to the younger ones like us in terms of life, job hunting, just that type of advice.
Yeah, life is not easy. It was never meant to be easy. Don't approach life with a defeatist attitude. Say, oh well, all is bad. Why even bother? No. Challenges, hurdles in life, but again, hard work, patience, perseverance, and again, what we're talking about, obedience.
I'm good though.
Well, all this, I say from a Christian perspective, that God's time is the best. You do your own share of the bargain. Study, listen to your parents. Your parents don't necessarily mean your biological parents. There are good people out there in the society looking at you. Psychologically, they can tell what kind of person you are. And if you're arrogant, insolent, and disrespectful, people have good stuff in themselves that they can share, they can help. But
because of that attitude,
the first impression can just kill all what you can get out of somebody. You do all this, at least God is not going to look away from you. He will look kindly on you and bless you. And other people too can bless you. And patience and wait for your time. Yours is yours. Life is good and is bad. You are the architect. The final decision is yours. So that is my advice to you and to your friends out there who may need the advice. Because there are a good many people who don't think, they say we are old-fashioned.
You just need to get advice from the elderly ones and then make good use of it to your own taste.
You just go around distributing advice. No, the people might even stand and say, well, you are not my father. You are not my mother. And there are all kinds of people out there. So don't advise me. I don't need it. So you have to be very careful as you go about distributing advice.
Okay, Mr. Bernard Gua, thank you very much for honoring my request for being in one of my YouTube videos. Thank you guys for watching. If you came to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so you're notified each time a video drops on my channel. Do you have any other thing to say? Like outro?
That's all I have to say. I've said more than enough. I ended with advice, so can't go beyond that.
Okay.
It was nice coming on your show.
Thank you.
Hope it was worthwhile.
It was. It really was.
I didn't think there was a place on your show for parents.
Well, not really, but it's my show, so I decide what I need to put.
Okay.
And your presence really did matter.
Okay.
Bye bye guys, see you in my next video.